Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, May the 14th, 2024, and welcome to BS3 Presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. And for the next 60 minutes, sit back, relax as we get you and keep you informed, enlightened, entertained, and spiritually fed. So on today's program, we're going to discuss, Lawrence Taylor actually stumping for Donald Trump, and how that doesn't really sound as strange as it came out of my mouth. Also, we will touch on what would you do when you are filled with anxiety. That will be much later in the program. We're also going to touch on GameStop. Are we running into a same situation as dumb money? And I'll explain that when we get to that segment. But for right now, let's get you started up. And here is what's taking place in the world today. Parishioners escorted an armed 16-year-old out of a church in Louisiana over the weekend, police said. The police department received a call roughly around 10:35 Saturday, about a suspicious person with a gun at St. Mary Magdalene Church, about 150 miles west of New Orleans. The individual was confirmed by parishioners and escorted out of the church, police said in a Facebook post. When a key witness in the Donald Trump hush money trial shot out of the gate while testifying yesterday, providing the Manhattan jury with details of Trump's response to the threat of alleged ex-mistress coming forward back in 2016. Crucially, for the prosecution, Cohen said that Trump's efforts to stop those stories were driven by the desire to protect his campaign prospects. Trump is currently on trial for 34 counts of falsifying business records. Tom Brady. Yes, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., the one that just had a roast in his honor. His first NFL regular season game he will be a color commentator or analyst for, will now be featured in the sport's most popular team. Yeah. Brady, and now the number one Fox announcing team, will be on call for a Dallas Cowboys contest against the Cleveland Browns that will take place on September 8th. The kickoff time would be 4:25 p.m. Eastern. It was announced at an event for Fox advertisers yesterday as part of the NFL schedule rollout, which will continue and will culminate tomorrow. The game is a part of the exclusive doubleheader for winter Fox. Since there will be no doubleheader for CBS, there will be no late afternoon game in that window for that date for them. Melinda French Gates is stepping down from the famous Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, one of the largest charitable institutions in the world. The organization co-founder announced this on Monday. The now ex-billionaire of Bill Gates wrote in a statement posted to multiple online platforms, including her LinkedIn and Instagram pages. Quote, "This is not a decision that I came to lightly." Close quote. She said her last day of work for the Seattle-based global health development charity will be in June. Howard University canceled a graduation ceremony for the College of Nursing and Allied Health Sciences an hour into the ceremony this past Thursday. Video shows a smashed door at the crammed-in auditorium and a group of people outside of the building. Hilltop, the student newspaper at Howard, reported that the crowds formed 2 hours ahead of the 6 p.m. start of the ceremony. The event was not ticketed. 2 former California high school students were awarded $1 million in tuition reimbursement after they said they were forced to withdraw from the school back in 2020 for wearing acne masks, which were interpreted by officials and community members as blackface. The Los Angeles Times reported that the boys sued the high school, the president of said high school, and a parent of one of the students of the school for breach of contract, defamation, and violating 2 other legal rights. A jury on May 6th announced they awarded each student $500,000 each in tuition reimbursement, which totaled $70,000. Sean Puff Diddy, P. Diddy, Sean John, whatever, Combs has filed to dismiss a lawsuit alleging he and his former Bad Boy Entertainment executive Harvey Pierre gang raped a 17-year-old girl in a New York music studio back in 2003. Combs' legal team filed the motion to dismiss on Friday in a New York federal court, calling the allegations, quote, false and hideous, close quote, and claiming the suit was filed too late under the law. Combs' lawyer, Jonathan Davis, called the suit a stunt and said that it, quote, fails to state any viable claim, close quote. Not failing to state a claim is Sean's son, Christian, otherwise known as King. As diss tracks are all the rage, but the latest installment may be the most hilarious one yet, and that is coming from Christian King Combs. This Sunday night, King Combs released a song titled Pick a Side, which references federal agents' raid of Diddy's 2 homes in LA and in Miami in March, and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and his continuous social media posts on the Bad Boy's founder and his recent legal trouble. 50, of course, to not be outdone, posted on Instagram the following, quote, now why would you say something like this when you know the feds are investigating? Is you stupid or is you dumb? LOL. Close quote. In sports on the hardwood, the Celtics take a commanding 3-1 series lead in front of LeBron James in Cleveland. Meanwhile, the Thunder, needing a win to snatch back home court advantage, did just that with a 196 victory over the Mavs in Dallas, squaring their best of 7 at 2 games apiece. Game 5 for both series is tomorrow night in Boston and OKC, respectively. On the ice, the Hurricanes stave off elimination by defeating the top-seeded Rangers in MSG as the Stars grab a hold of their series lead against the Avalanche. The Rangers lead their series 3-2, while the Stars have a 3-1 series lead. Both games will take place again tomorrow night on the ice in Raleigh and Dallas, respectively. Turning our attention to weather across the U.S. In the Pacific Northwest, it'll be cloudy and 63 in Seattle. In the Midwest, it will be sunny and 64 in the Twin Cities. Thunderstorms and 77 in Chicago, partly cloudy and 82 in Detroit. Thunderstorms and 77 in St. Louis. And going on the eastern seaboard, it will be partly cloudy and 64 in Boston, partly cloudy and 69 in New York, sunny and 75 in the nation's capital. Down in the south, it will be partly cloudy and 86 in Miami, cloudy and 66 in Atlanta, cloudy and 73 in Memphis, and thunderstorms and 78 in New Orleans. In the southwest, it will be sunny with a thunderstorm mix, a high of 88 in San Antonio, partly cloudy and 81 in Dallas, thunderstorms and 78 in Houston. And hope that no further flooding happens there, as it's been raining a lot in the last week there. It will be partly cloudy and 72 in Denver, sunny and 99 in Phoenix, mostly sunny and 95 in Las Vegas. And out on the West Coast, it will be partly cloudy and 59 in San Francisco and partly cloudy and 73 in Los Angeles. And that is your weather. And now you have been started up. Later this hour, what to do when you're stressed. Also, GameStop stock is on the rise again. But coming up next, Lawrence Taylor stumping for Donald Trump? You're watching The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson on the BS3 Network. We will be right back right after this.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, W-I-Z-E.
Are you in a life-holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street y'all done had problems, maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Welcome back to the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson. And to the shifters we go. And the playmaker is just saying, morning shift, morning shift. Thank you for that wrestling chant. I appreciate that, brother. I hope everything is good with you. Yeah, catch him with many different platforms. We're definitely on Monarchs of Wrestling. He shares that duties with Cool McCain every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Love that show. My man, TFT partner or Total Football Talk, my partner, Drew Willingham. He says, yes, bro, I am slightly awake. That's cool. That's cool. I'm glad you're here. And yes, if you want to catch our show every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and wonderful show last night too on our sports debate that is on at 9:05 Eastern every Monday. Glad that you're doing that again. That's one of the best platforms on the net, bro. Cool McCain, the other half of Monarchs of Wrestling, and God knows how many other shows. But definitely Eagles Elite, and catch that 8:30 Eastern. And even in the off season, he'll talk ill and talk good about the Eagles. He says that man from Cole Sports with the Z. Oh, Drew, love that. Love that Facebook post. Yes, that came from a Facebook post. The church did. Yes. And with 50 says the interweb strikes again. He says Thomas Everett Patrick Brady the second. He also says probably easily that made the decision that she doesn't fool around talking about Melinda Gates. And two that was awarded $1 million for blackface. It says $1 million. Drew also says, might as well call, talking about Lord Diddy P. Kelly. He might be due to a term that real soon. He says, look, King might be demoted to serpent. And it's nice to be out here in my streets. I'm glad that it is, my man. And this is great. And look, keep the love coming. And I appreciate all of you shifters. I do. And yes, definitely check out my brother again. NRL Sports Debate, 9:05 Eastern every Monday. D Will in the evening, Sundays. God, I think it's 10:05 Eastern. And then that's Eastern PM. And of course, TFT, 4 p.m. Eastern every Monday. And I shared that platform with him. And speaking of platform sharing, Lawrence Taylor. So there was a rally that was due, and it went off in sort of like, I guess you could say, the New York, I don't want to say New York suburbs, but basically sort of like the New York runoff. I think that's the best way I could put it, in New Jersey. And it was a Trump rally. You can call it what you want. You can say it was a MAGA rally, whatever. Doesn't matter. What does matter is that it was a rally and it was attended by many thousands of people. And the one thought that I think people took away from the whole thing was people were shocked and in awe of the fact that it was Lawrence Taylor, LT. Yes, the guy that ran offensive coordinators and quarterbacks and offensive line coaches and offensive lines and running backs crazy. Yes, the one and the same Lawrence Taylor. He actually stumped for one Mr. Donald Trump, a former president. And so my debut segment of Just My Thoughts, I'm going to touch further on what I really do think about what Lawrence Taylor did this past Saturday. And so it was set in Wildwood, New Jersey, and people were actually hours in wait for the man of the hour to appear and to speak in front of the people. Funny, what the former president said wasn't really the focal point. The focal point was we saw two former giants and one giant legend grace the stage. And that former giant was Lawrence Taylor. The funny thing is, it isn't really the weirdest thing to happen involving all things Donald Trump and definitely all things campaigning with Donald Trump. I really can't say that I was shocked nor surprised, and I'll go into it a little later as to why I don't think that I am flabbergasted or taken aback by it. But it is still the optics. Hall of Fame linebacker, and he is a registered sex offender. And he is stumping for a guy who was found civilly liable for sexual abuse last year. Now, that's just facts. That's not even my bias. That's just straight up facts. But what he said, I'm talking about Mr. Lawrence Taylor, what he said was really interesting when he got the chance to stand in front of the throng to introduce Trump. He said, quote, I wanted to say that I grew up a Democrat and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here, pointing to Trump. he will not have to worry nobody in the family ever voting again Democrat. Close quote. And of course, that was to a rousing ovation when he said that. See, where can I go with this? Well, along with that is his former teammate Otis or OJ Anderson, who was the Super Bowl 25 MVP. He was also at the rally too, and he was hyping up the crowd. Now, of course, for those of us who are under a rock, you know that Donald Trump loves celebrity, he loves money, and he loves to talk down to those who he feels he's smaller than and challenge him. That's just how he is. But I'm not so sure if the Donald is going to get the flex that he believes it will get him. And I say it for this reason. Now, do I find it strange that Donald Trump and Lawrence Taylor are in cahoots? No. Because you have to understand, when LT was the thing in New York in the 80s, Donald Trump was moving, grooving, shaking, and baking, and I don't know if he was kissing babies, but he was definitely shaking hands. So you knew that in a lot of the celebrity circles in the New York area, the two collided and ran into each other. You knew that. So when I saw this, it didn't surprise me. It didn't take me aback. I'm like, okay. Because it was, to me, the same thing as when Donald Trump was wanting that support, got it from Herschel Walker. Same thing. Athlete, spent time in New York, and in Walker's case, Donald Trump was the owner of the team that Herschel Walker was the running back for. So, like I said, Donald Trump has a thing for celebrity, and especially with athletic celebrity. That's just how he is. I mean, he put on fights, definitely when Mike Tyson was in his heyday. And he famously has a relationship of sorts with Tom Brady. So none of this new to me. None of this should be any news to you. This is just simply another case of this should be another way or another in for me, or if I'm Trump, for me to get your vote. And I know how he's thinking. It's like, yeah, you've heard that I'm a racist. Here's proof that I'm not. And with certain women, you've heard that I'm a sexist. Here's proof that I'm not. And I'm thinking his vice presidential pick, he's going to pick a woman because of that. Chrissy Noem, anybody? But I digress. Bottom lining this. When you are a guy who I think has a good chance of actually retaking the White House, you will take any positive press you can get. You'll take any positive rub that you can gather. And this is where I think the flex actually does work. New Jersey is a very blue state. There's no question about that. There's no debating that. And when I say blue, blue is Democrat, red is Republican. New Jersey is extremely Democrat. To have Taylor, who is a New York legend and I should say, an middle Atlantic and upward legend, because a lot of people in DC, people in Philly, and of course, definitely a lot of people in Dallas, and certainly a whole ton of people in New York got a chance to see his greatness from 1981 to 1993. His name, especially with fans and probably even with casuals, it gives you good feelings. So it surprised me that this has happened. No, because it is a flex in that certain market. And to me, two markets that I think Trump knows best. One is New York, and the other is Florida. So since this was done in Florida, this was near New York. And I think that is what everyone got. And I think you get the understanding that this was a play to say that even on Democrat soil, Biden, I am converting people who said they would be Democrat, and now they will be Republican because of me. Those last three words are what's most important to Trump, because of me. Well, if you want to have something delicious in your diet, something that is delicious that you can cook either fast, easy, or spectacular, I have a show for you. This Dope Cooking Show. You can watch Chef Jeff as he goes live every Tuesday, and tonight he'll go live as well, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central, where he will take a select dish and he will show you probably between half hour and to an hour how delicious, and probably most of these dishes, how easy it is to prepare it. That is This Dope Cooking Show. Join Chef Jeff live tonight and every Tuesday, or today and every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on Roku TV via BS3 Network and on the This Dope Cooking Show YouTube channel. Coming up next, GameStop. Are we entering dumb money territory again? I'll explain when you get back. This is the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson on the BS3 Network. Right after this, more Shift.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
You have to learn to live with yourself before you can make a commitment of yourself to someone else.
When you go to something that's already structured, like the church, I don't need to go in there thinking I'm the pastor. It's like already one set up, you know what I'm saying?
It just had everything, but I learned, you know what I'm saying? Everything I did, I learned from.
So we look forward to seeing you same time, same place. Know that we love you, God loves you more. Continue to stay safe, do the right thing, stay out of trouble.
Conversation that informs a community. Brothers of Legacy. Every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. This is a BS3 Network presentation.
So, sit back, tune in, tell a friend. This Dope Cooking Show, we about to get started, and it's about to go down. Check me out.
Join your culinary master of ceremonies, Chef Jeff, as he introduces to you This Dope Cooking Show. Live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central.
Join BS3, yes, Ben Southern III, the owner, the manipulator, and the operator of the BS3 Network, as he moderates the forecast along with his partners, King Dog, Mayhem, or Wilkes, and H-Rap B. That takes place every Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central. You can watch it on the BS3 Network YouTube channel. You can watch it on the on the _forecast YouTube channel as well. And you also, of course, can catch it live Monday, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. That's on the PM side on Roku TV via BS3. That's the forecast. And last night, I got a chance to actually see the fellas talk about OJ Made in America, the second part of that documentary. Wonderful job, gentlemen. Fortunately, we missed you, Keith Dawk. We understand why. You're covering the Stars in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Hope everything's well with you. And wonderful job. And check out as they go further. They will touch part 3 in 6 days. Back at it, the morning shift with Cole Johnson on the BS3 network. And back to the shifters. Cool says, look, I was telling Playmaker King Combs' diss was trash. I'm sorry. And Drew laughing at a lot of stuff. And I agree. Ryan McCarthy, no credentials required fame. You can tune into his stuff tonight, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. No credentials required on the No Creds, that's CRED REQ YouTube channel. Love you, brother. Drew, which he is an extreme grounded journalist like me, says facts are facts. And yeah, that's just what it is. Drew, he says, what's up to you, Ryan? Drew also says, look, that's a bold statement by LT, voting Republican for life because of Donald Trump. Yeah, I agree. It is. That is a bold take. And it's a bold statement from him. And he actually on the platform said it. And I'm like, whoo, okay, well, hey, more power to you. Not just him, but his family too. I'm like, wow, all right. He says, look, they're drinking each other's sex offended Kool-Aid. He goes, Trump also has a relationship with a tanning bed facade that results in orange skin. And he asked a wonderful $1 million question: will he be incarcerated prior to the election? That is a really good question. And Cool says, cocaine's a heck of a drug, which that is something that Lawrence Taylor is a recovering addict from. The dude did a lot of blow. In fact, there's a famous story that he said that he drove to Giant Stadium high and was late for the game. Late as in they actually was starting the game and he still wasn't there and arrived after kickoff. Ryan says, look, Christy Noem. The Noem's chances of being VP was shot. Why'd you have to use that word, Ryan? That's a cold choice of words, man. When the media got a hold of her book before it was released, and she keeps digging herself further down the hole she already dug. Yeah. Emphasis on the word shot. Yeah, my bad. Drew says, look, not as much blow as Dog the Bounty Hunter and Charlie Sheen. That's true. But there it is. And he says, good morning, Shift Nation. That came from Cool McCain. Thank you, guys. And keep the comments coming. I love it. I love it and love you all. Now, stop me if you heard this before. So, GameStop, the stock has risen. Oh, it's a good time for people who probably didn't participate in stocks to go in once again on the platform GME, which that's the abbreviation for GameStop. And so on today's cover story, we're going to touch on if the recent uptick with GameStop stock will be a situation where dumb money comes a calling again. GameStop and AMC, now they share rallies that dramatically were increased this past Monday after the man who inspired the epic short squeeze plus 21, Roaring Kitty, posted online for the first time in about 3 years. Now, the picture that we have seen of Roaring Kitty, he video gamer, he leaned forward in his chair as if to indicate that he's taking this stock seriously. This marked Roaring Kitty's first post on X or even Reddit since 2021, and the post that he put forward in 13 hours, 63,000 likes. Now, why did he post? Well, GameStop soared 74% after soaring as much as 110%. Trading in GameStop was halted multiple times due to the volatility. AMC also caught the trading frenzy, ending Monday session up a whopping 78% after doubling in price at one point. Reddit nearly gained 9% increase. Now, Roaring Kitty's legal name is Keith Gill. And he's a former marketer for Massachusetts Mutual Life Insurance. He's also known as DF Value on Reddit. So he drew an army of day traders who cheered each other on and piled into the brick and mortar video game stock and GameStop call options between 2020 and 2021, which inspired the movie/documentary on Netflix called Dumb Money. The meme stock frenzy involved individual investors taking shots and aim at short sellers and hedge funds who were pessimistic about the outlook for GameStop and other companies, forcing them to cover their short positions and drive up the price of target stocks. Now, as of right now, the short position in GameStop shares amounts to more than 24% of all of its shares that are freely available to trade. Now, Roaring Kitty or Gil later posted that with scenes from TV shows and movies about this, but really it's no clear indication what they mean. GameStop was the most talked about stock on Reddit's Wall Street Bets by far on Monday, with more than 600 mentions in the past day, surpassing the popular chip maker NVIDIA, according to the market research performer Quiver Quantitative. Now, the GameStop mania drove the stock above $120 a share, split adjusted, in early 2021, from as little as only $3 in the space of 3 months. This forced brokerages, including Robinhood, to limit trading in heavily shorted stocks. Responding to that, one Robinhood user filed a class action lawsuit after the app's decision to restrict GameStop trading on its platform, but the suit was dismissed 9 months ago. Another class action lawsuit brought against Gill alleged that he pretended to be a novice trader to start being a licensed professional. And the volatility spawned a series of congressional hearings around brokerage practices and gamifying retail trading, and testimony from leaders of Robinhood and Melvin Capital and Reddit and Citadel, as well as Gill himself. And that played out on the movie Dumb Money. Here's why I say that I don't think this is going to be a dumb money situation again, because of what you just heard when this happened the last time. When you had stock that rose from $3 a share to $120 a share, you were having brokerage houses say, no, we got to limit this. We got to limit that stock rising as high as it can. And when you have, it's unfortunate, because I think you got a chance to understand in that movie and in this story, when you have the little guy play on the big guy's surface and turf, you're going to have the issue of having issues where the big guy is going to still want to crush the little guy back down to his or her very meager spot, because they don't belong with the boys. So I think you're going to see if GameStop stock is going to rise again, you're going to see more regulation, probably some the likes of which is uncomfortable to watch or participate in. But it is still good to see that Gil, who did show us that you can actually be a little man, and I just mean this in terms of stock, and still have a presence and have your fortunes rise. The rags to riches story in America will always be something that everybody will gravitate toward. But understand, though, you will always have somebody that want to smash you down because they do not want to have more people at the exclusive party and the table. So when it comes to any stock, GameStop or any other, you just have to do due diligence. You have to study. You have to study the stock itself. You have to study the company itself to see if it is viable for you to place money into the stock. If it is feasible for you to invest in. Sure, it would be cool if you can plunk $1 down and you come back $100 richer. Yes, but not all stocks are created equal. I think that's the best way to put it. But I'm glad to see Roaring Kitty come back. It's good to see him again. And will we see another dumb money situation? I highly doubt it. But it's still good to see the little man show the big men that, yeah, there can be a seat at the exclusive table. It's time to not make those tables so exclusive. And that is today's cover story. And when I come back, what do you do when you feel anxious? And I'll tell you what you do right after this.
This is a BS3 Network presentation. Adrian Shawan.
There was a man talking about where the homebodies at? Where the women at? And the women was stitching it and was like, we at home.
Scotty Knox.
Another pet peeve of mine, right? First date, if you show up with the ponytail that come out at the top of your head, it will not be a second date.
Butler.
I want people to think independently and freely. She's not. $100 for lunch. I almost got up and walked off.
A show that asks only one question. Is it Wednesday yet? Live every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central.
See everybody talking like they doing what we doing, but these brothers is rare and they ain't moving like we moving, and everywhere we go.
Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers, right side, commanders. Where my soldiers, left side.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 Network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
Join King Dog, Nicole, Mika, and Alicia as they break down every topic that you can think of. All from the relationship realm, some from the spiritual realm, even some from the social media realm. That is Queen 3 and King. You can catch them not necessarily tonight, but you can catch them on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, on Roku TV via BS3 Network, and the Queen 3 King Podcast 5-9 YouTube channel and the BS3 Network YouTube channel. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to actually preempt lighting the way. So I'll give you a double dose of lighting the way tomorrow. Now, what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to say goodbye to the shifters one last time before I do head on out. Ryan says, game stonks. Gotta get those tenders. Drew's laughing hard. He says, King nothing equals GameStop. Yes, I agree. Drew says, stores like GameStop and Best Buy will be obsolete and gone in a decade. I agree with you on that. I think, and I was surprised that GameStop still was something that existed when I saw Dumb Money. I thought, wait a minute. I thought GameStop was done. Wow. Okay. It's still in 2020, still viable. Interesting. Maker says, wait, GameStop still exists? Yes, GameStop still exists. Well, that is all the time I have. Thank you so much for joining me, shifters. I love you. And all of you, if you want to be like these shifters, come on down. We enjoy everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, from any and every walk of life. You are welcome here, because this is the Joy Revolution, and it is on, and it will be televised, as you can see. For all of us here at BS3 Network and the Morning Shift, I am Cole Johnson, here to say, in parting, as I always do, if you lack commitment, you will never start. If you lack consistency, you will never finish. And if you lack love, you most certainly will never come. Until we meet again in 23 hours, have a good day, shifters. So long, everybody.